Wednesday, September 20th, 2023, night edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video.
Good night, dear viewers. I am your news anchor, Xander Voxius III. Thank you for tuning in to the Future of News AGNDD Intellireport. As always, I will be assisted by my valued AI-generated colleagues in summarizing the news. Without further ado, here are the headlines of the day. Brooke Shields rejected Trump's date, received response. U.S. child dies from fentanyl under nursery mat. RNA from extinct Tasmanian tiger recovered in groundbreaking study. Low floats boost IPOs and create investor risks. Tetris may benefit mental health, suggests study. Asteroid struck by NASA's DART craft shows odd behavior, and more. But first, let's take a look at this day in history.
September 20th in history. September 20th, 1519. Ferdinand Magellan sets sail from Sanlúcar de Barrameda with approximately 270 men on his expedition that ultimately culminates in the first circumnavigation of the globe.
Today's obituaries. Zeenat Barkatullah was a Bangladeshi dancer and television actress. She received numerous awards for her significant contributions to the field of dance. Barkatullah also had a successful acting career and served as one of the directors of Bangladesh Shilpakala Academy. Sadly, she passed away on September 20th, 2023. Yakov Bergman. Brief Wikipedia summary. Yakov Bergman, a 78-year-old Israeli conductor, has died. Bergman was known for his work as the musical director and conductor of various orchestras, including the Walla Walla Symphony and the Portland Chamber Orchestra. He also conducted performances around the world and presented premieres of new works. Dick Clark was an American politician and former member of the U.S. Senate. He passed away at the age of 95. Clark served in the Senate from 1973 to 1979. Camille Dimmer, an 84-year-old Luxembourgish footballer and politician, has passed away. He played for Anderlecht and the national team and later served as a deputy in the Chamber of Deputies from 1984 to 1994. Ruth Fuchs. Brief Wikipedia summary. Ruth Fuchs, a German politician and athlete, has passed away at the age of 76. Fuchs was an Olympic champion in javelin in 1972 and 1976 and held the world record for the javelin during the 1970s. She later admitted to using steroids during her career. Lucy Morgan. Brief Wikipedia summary. Lucy Morgan, an 82-year-old American journalist who worked for the Tampa Bay Times, has passed away due to complications from a fall. Erwin Olaf was a Dutch photographer who passed away at the age of 64 due to complications arising from a lung transplant and emphysema. He gained recognition for his expertise in commercial, art, and fashion photography, and his works were displayed in various international exhibitions. Jack Sandlin, a Republican member of the Indiana Senate, has passed away. Sandlin served in various political roles, including as a member of the Indianapolis City County Council and as a trustee in Perry Township. He was known for sponsoring legislation on issues such as gun rights and funding for a soccer stadium. Phil Sellers was an American basketball player who played for the Detroit Pistons and BV Amstelveen. He passed away at the age of 69 after suffering a stroke. Boris Starokin, 73, Russian footballer, played for Krylia Sovetov and SKA Khabarovsk. Kent Stax. Brief Wikipedia summary. Kent Stax, the drummer of American hardcore punk band Scream, has passed away after battling cancer. Stax joined the band in 1981 and played on their first 3 albums before leaving in 1986. He later rejoined for their reunion in 2009.
General news.
Ohtani has elbow surgery, expected to hit in 24, pitch by 25, MLB.com.
The article discusses Shohei Ohtani's recent surgery to repair an issue in his elbow. Dr. Neil Elatrach, who performed the surgery, expects Ohtani to fully recover and be ready to hit without restrictions by opening day of 2024 and to both hit and pitch by 2025.
U.S. child dies from fentanyl kept under nursery nap mat, BBC.
The article states that child care inspectors are not trained to look for fentanyl, as mentioned by an individual at a news conference. However, there is a suggestion that maybe they should be trained to do so.
Smell smoke? Northern California, Oregon wildfires are impacting Bay Area air quality. ABC 7 News Bay Area.
Business news.
Seaboy CEO resigns over undisclosed personal relationships, Chicago Tribune.
Edward Tilley, the chairman and CEO of SIBO, has resigned following an investigation into alleged undisclosed personal relationships with colleagues. Frederick Tomzik, a former president and CEO of TD Ameritrade, has been named as Tilley's replacement. Tilley is the latest CEO to step down due to allegations of inappropriate personal relationships at work.
How low floats boost IPOs and create risks for investors. Barron's.
Instacart, operating as Maple Bear, has sold 7.9% of its shares to the public following the recent trend of new offerings in the market.
NIO stock sinks after $1 billion planned convertible debt offering. Electric.co.
Chinese electric vehicle EV maker NIO's stock fell by 17% after announcing a proposed $1 billion in convertible senior notes. The company plans to issue 2 batches of $500 million notes with maturities in 2029 and 2030, and will use the funds to strengthen its balance sheet and for general purposes. NIO's stock had previously reached a peak of $16.18 in August. The company aims to boost vehicle deliveries in the second half of 2023 with the launch of several new models.
Science news.
In a first, RNA is recovered from extinct Tasmanian tiger, Reuters.
Scientists have successfully recovered RNA, the genetic material present in living cells, from the desiccated skin and muscle of a Tasmanian tiger that has been stored at a museum in Stockholm since 1891. This marks the first time that RNA has been recovered from an extinct species, and could potentially aid in efforts to recreate extinct species and decipher the cause of past pandemics. The ability to extract, sequence, and analyze old RNA provides insights into the biology and metabolism of extinct species.
New recipes for the origin of life may point the way to distant inhabited planets. Phys.org.
Scientists at the University of Wisconsin-Madison have compiled a cookbook of hundreds of chemical recipes that could potentially give rise to life on other planets. The ingredient list could help focus the search for extraterrestrial life by identifying the most likely conditions for these recipes to come together. The researchers focused on autocatalytic reactions, which are chemical reactions that produce molecules that encourage the same reaction to happen again and again. By studying comproportionation reactions, the team identified 270 combinations of molecules with the potential for sustained autocatalysis.
Asteroid hit by NASA's DART spacecraft is behaving unexpectedly, high school class discovers. Space.com.
New data suggests that the asteroid Dimorphos, which was intentionally crashed into by a NASA rocket last year, is behaving unexpectedly. Observations show that Dimorphos may be tumbling in its orbit and continuously slowing down, contrary to NASA's predictions. The cause of these changes is still unknown, but it is speculated that the presence of boulders shaken loose during the impact may be a factor. Further investigation is planned for 2026.
Health news.
34 absolutely wild photos of the human body that made me stare at my computer in shock. BuzzFeed.
The article discusses the rare condition of having a parasitic twin, where one twin develops normally while the other stops developing, and some of its body remains in the first twin's body. It provides a visual representation of this condition in an older child.
Living medical device could make insulin injections obsolete. Gizmodo.
Scientists at MIT have developed a medical device that can be implanted into mice to produce insulin for up to a month. The device uses a membrane to split nearby water molecules and create an indefinite oxygen supply for the donor islet cells, allowing them to produce insulin. Researchers plan to test the device in larger animals before moving on to human trials.
Tetris might actually be good for your mental health. National Geographic.
Psychologists are studying whether playing Tetris can help reduce the number of flashbacks people have after a traumatic experience. In experiments, participants who played Tetris within hours of a trauma experienced significantly fewer flashbacks compared to those who didn't play. Playing Tetris may also help reduce distressing memories and improve symptoms of anxiety and depression. However, it is important to note that Tetris or any other coping tool is not a substitute for professional therapy.
Entertainment news.
Brooke Shields got a classic Trump response after turning down his date invite. HuffPost.
Donald Trump allegedly told actress Brooke Shields that she was making a big mistake after she turned down a date with him in the late 90s. Shields recounted the encounter during an interview and said she politely declined due to having a boyfriend at the time.
Meredith Steam has been easily reelected as president of WGA West. Her running mates have also achieved significant victories. This news was reported by Deadline.
Meredith Steam has been re-elected as the president of WGA West in a landslide victory, receiving 3,354 votes compared to Rich Tallarico's 300. Her running mates, Michelle Mulroney and Betsy Thomas, were also re-elected. Steam's re-election comes at a crucial time as negotiations between the Writers Guild and the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers continue in an effort to end the ongoing strike. If a deal is not reached soon, the strike will become the second longest in the Guild's history. Steam's re-election, along with Lisa Takeuchi Cullen's anticipated election as the WGA East president, will mark a historic moment where all four Guild presidents are women.
Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner have reached a divorce settlement, according to USA Today.
Kevin Costner and his ex-wife, Christine Baumgartner, have reached a settlement in their divorce proceedings. The terms of the settlement were not disclosed. The couple had a contentious court battle, with Baumgartner initially requesting an increase in child support payments. Costner was ultimately ordered to pay $63,209 in monthly payments.
You know what really grinds my gears? Historical events and headlines. I mean, come on, folks. Let's take a stroll down memory lane and see what the archives have in store for us today. First up, we've got Ferdinand Magellan setting sail in 1519 on a little expedition called the First Circumnavigation of the Globe. I gotta hand it to the Globe, he had some serious commitment to travel. Meanwhile, I can't even bring myself to circle the block to find a parking spot. But hold on a second, folks. We got some breaking news here. Apparently, Brooke Shields rejected Trump's date. Can we please focus on more important things? I mean, who cares about some celebrity romance when we got real issues to worry about, like nursery mats laced with fentanyl, a child dying from that stuff? That's just heartbreaking. And guess what? In a groundbreaking study, they've recovered RNA from an extinct Tasmanian tiger. Like, what are we going to do with that information? Clone them? I don't know about you, but I've seen enough Jurassic Park movies to know that never ends well. Let's focus on saving the animals that are still hanging around. Globes. But wait, low floats are boosting IPOs and creating investor risks? Low floats? Are we talking about a parade here? I'm sorry, but I thought the stock market was supposed to be about investing in businesses, not cruising down the river with inflatable swans. Oh, and get this. Tetris may benefit mental health. Well, color me shocked. Who would have thought that organizing colored blocks could make you feel better? I guess I've been wasting my time with therapy when I could have just been playing video games. And finally, an asteroid struck by NASA's DART craft is showing odd behavior. Hold up, folks. We've got an asteroid with attitude here. It's not just floating around like a good little space rock. It's acting all strange. Next thing you know, it's going to be demanding its own reality show. You know, sometimes I think the world has gone a little nuts. We're focusing on the wrong things, chasing after extinct animals, and letting asteroids have temper tantrums. Can we please get our priorities straight? Let's start talking about the things that really matter and leave these bizarre headlines in the history books where they belong.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intellireport. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.